The Oregon offense seemingly never misses a beat. With a new quarterback each of the last 3 years, this is a program that has consistently been able to replace top-tier production and recruit at a very high level. In today's video, we are going to be highlighting one of Oregon's most exciting players on their 2025 roster, and that is tight end Kenyon Sadiq. Sadiq was my tight end one when entering the draft, but is a player with some really exciting athletic traits and upside that could make him a potential top 20 pick come April. Today, we will be going over those strengths, weaknesses, and ultimately how I think he fits in the modern NFL game. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a ton and lets me know that you guys are enjoying the videos. Also, be sure to comment down below which players you guys want to see me discuss in a future prospect spotlight, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Kenyon Sadiq. Sadiq was a 4-star recruit out of the 2023 class and was a 3-sport athlete back in high school, playing both basketball and track and field, as well as football. He committed to Oregon and has been with the Ducks for the last 3 seasons. He was the backup to Terrence Ferguson the last 2 years, but he made some splash plays when he was on the field. However, he was primarily used as a blocking threat in 12 personnel. Through his career so far, Sadiq has 35 receptions for 426 yards and 5 touchdowns. He hasn't produced nearly as much as some of the other guys, but as you will see, his upside is extremely high for the tight end position. The first thing that really sticks out when you are watching Sadiq is his incredible explosiveness and speed for the tight end position. He is a player who has excellent speed, but his first step is fantastic for the tight end position. While we don't have confirmed testing numbers, rumors are that he will run in the 4.5s and that he has a 41.5-inch vertical leap, which confirms the explosiveness. He plays with that type of speed on the field though. Sadiq does an excellent job of separating vertically. He's really good at stretching the seam, which you love seeing, and he also has showcased the ability to make really good plays after the catch. Sadiq throughout his career averages almost 10 yards after the catch per attempt. He's slippery, very hard to bring down, and he's even showcased the ability to hurdle over defenders. He's a really fun weapon that I think's got plus athleticism for the tight end position. The biggest strength in Sadiq's game, however, isn't his athleticism or anything he can do as a receiver. It's his blocking. In recent years, we have seen quite a few tight ends get taken in the first round. Dalton Kincaid, Brock Bowers, Colston Loveland, and Tyler Warren. But one of the bigger knocks on most of those guys is that they aren't exactly top-tier blockers. That is not the case with Kenyon Sadiq. I think Sadiq is an absolute superstar blocker. He can do whatever you need him to do, whether that is be a lead blocker from the backfield in a wing formation or play as a true wide tight end as an inline blocker attached to the line of scrimmage. He's absolutely fantastic in that role, and it starts with his hand placement. He gets his hands on the outside shoulders of defenders, and he's got a really strong base for his size. He's able to physically dominate the rep at the line of scrimmage and can immediately be a threat for a team that wants to live in a lot of 12 personnel because he can be that blocking threat for you. He also plays with nastiness as a run blocker. He wants to drive guys into the ground, and he's one of those players that continues to play until the whistle is blown. I really don't have enough positive things to say about Sadiq as a blocker. He could be a lead blocker on the run, he could be attached to the line of scrimmage and make an impact in pass protection, and I think he is one of the best college blockers we've seen in recent years. As a receiver, we mentioned the athleticism, but that really is all there is to go off of with Sadiq right now. He is extremely raw as a receiving option, and he still has a lot of room to improve. We mentioned the usage very briefly, but it is something that you do worry about. Through his career, Sadiq only has 35 receptions and has only been targeted 41 times. A lot of this was because they had Terrence Ferguson, who did a lot of their receiving work, but we have yet to really see Sadiq break out and be a consistent threat as a receiving option, which could lead to him falling down the board a little bit. I also worry about his route running. Sadiq at the moment is given a ton of manufactured touches from the tight end position. Whether it be on screens or jet motion, Sadiq doesn't exactly run your standard tight end routes. In fact, in 2024, Sadiq had 17 of his 27 targets come behind the line of scrimmage. He was getting a lot of screen passes last year, and throughout his career, Sadiq has an average depth of target of 3.2 yards. That's pretty alarming to me. A lot of his receptions felt manufactured, and once again, the tape shows the same thing. He's very unpolished as a route runner at this point in his career. He lacks the necessary twitch to get out of routes with a ton of quickness, and I want to see that improve for him. It is great that he is a threat on screens and can be that vertical threat for you, but I think he needs to be able to beat you in more ways than just that, and so I do have some concerns in his game in that area. Kenyon Sadiq is one of the most exciting players in the country. Every week it seems like we see him showcase his speed or land a nasty block in space, and it's really exciting to see a guy with this much raw potential at the tight end spot. I'm a big fan of his game, and I think with his traits and more usage in the offense, Sadiq is a guy who is going to continue to start climbing up draft boards, and I believe his best football is ahead of him. Sadiq is my tight end 1 in the draft class, and I do have a first round grade on him. Yes, he does need to prove a little bit more as a receiving option, but I love what he brings as a blocker, and that ability alone allows you to play him in 12 personnel, and I think he can make so many plays for your offense that aren't going to necessarily go on the stat sheet, and I'm really high on him in this draft class. In terms of a scheme fit, I want to see Sadiq play in more of that wide tight end role with his hand in the dirt, attached to the line of scrimmage, and being that blocking threat for his offense. It's where he has primarily played for the Oregon offense and where I think he is going to play at his best in the NFL. They can still move him around the formation, but I do believe Sadiq works best as an inline blocker. Coming up with a comparison for Kenyon Sadiq was incredibly difficult. He's got a very unique skill set that not many players at the position have with the athleticism that he has. So I'm going to give a low-end comp and a high-end comp for Kenyon Sadiq. On the low end, I could see him being very similar to Tennessee Titans tight end Chig Okonkwo. Okonkwo is a good athlete, a pretty solid blocker, but has never really broken through as a stud receiving option. He's made plays for the Titans when they need him to, but nobody views him as a top 10 tight end of the NFL. But on the high end, I wouldn't be shocked if he's similar to George Kittle. Kittle is one of the best blocking tight ends in the NFL, but he also has some vertical speed to separate deep. He's really slippery and hard to bring down after the catch, but no one ever talks about Kittle as being an elite route runner. I think any combination of like an Okonkwo / Kittle type of player is very realistic for Sadiq. Kenyon Sadiq is a freak. He has insane athleticism for his position, but is also one of the nastiest run blockers you will see at the tight end position. I am a huge fan of him and his game, and ultimately, I believe that Kenyon Sadiq will be a first round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft.